Okay, we are moving on with the John Farrell box set from Imprint with The Hitler Gang, number 302 in the Imprint series. And this is a movie, a rather strange and unusual movie. It's a biopic of Hitler and his rise to power. And we hit all the kind of key points in history, as you would expect to hit throughout this film. You even get the sequence of when he's shaving his moustache down, notable points that happened on his rise to power. It's all there. It's a biopic in the typical fashion, exactly what you'd expect, with one caveat. There is a really weird and unusual choice made in how to tell this tale. And that's probably the most fascinating aspect of this. This film came out in the tail end of the war, 1944, one of the few movies at the time chronicling the rise of Hitler. And how do they do it? They sit down, they've discussed what they're going to make this movie. They're going to do it as almost the life and death of a gangster, his rise to power.
He said that under the circumstances he'd have to think things over carefully before he participated. He said he's not a gangster.
It's such a strange way to frame this film. You kind of meet Hitler at the start. He's a low-level kind of member of the army. He's starting to work his way up, kind of like a low-level gangster. He's starting to make waves, garner power, draw people into his gang, have these little moments where they're planning to overthrow the current powerful gangster and make this world their own. It is so phenomenally weird and odd that I couldn't help but be drawn in by this wonderful performance by Bobby Watson as Hitler in this one. But everything about it is the tone and the tropes that it follows in that life and death of a gangster.
Good evening, Herr Editor.
And it's kind of odd because throughout the film we do have moments where it does shine on the many bad points that Hitler had, but it's almost in a kind of throwaway manner, kind of funny. There's a moment where they're at a march, they are attacked by the army, they escape, Hitler cowardly runs away, abandoning his friends, and in the next sequence you get this hilarious tale of how he was so heroic, trying to save everybody, trying to save the day and move on, and could never really do that. He's just complete bravado and lies to people who don't really matter. He's just, but it's done in a kind of comedic fashion.
How awful.
A boy lay beside me, severely wounded. I picked him up and carried him. I thought if only I can get him to a car, I can save him.
There is a moment later on where you have the idea that Hitler has killed someone that he loved because he's been manipulated in sequences. And again, that takes another odd turn. And it almost feels like, although we know this person is horrific and the things he did was abhorrent, he is the main character and we're kind of watching him stretch and reach and achieve a powerful goal. And much like gangster movies where you're watching someone that is horrible, that does terrible things, you somehow kind of get drawn into that story and enjoy the tale. And that's what happens here.
What has happened? What is it?
Poor child. We tried to stop her, but it was too late.
Once you realise exactly how the story's laying out and how it's kind of framing that, it becomes mesmerising. I loved the film because of the way that it kind of changed that biopic that I knew by shoehorning it into a different kind of genre almost, and there was something truly just unique about that, which I really enjoyed. The Hitler Gang is one that I could go into more facets about because it's such an oddity. I think it's a great film and it shows the kind of ideas and thoughts that John Farrell had, a man who instigated himself into the war, who really did dislike the opposition, and this tact of how to approach a biopic is certainly something that's so weird and different. Like I said, it does tackle the big moments in the history of Hitler, and I kind of like that, but I also like the fact that it tries it in a different fashion. Weird, unique, unusual. I would thoroughly recommend this one. It's made me curious to dive into more of the John Farrell films to see exactly what else this guy can do, because this was different. It's always a good thing. I'd love to know your thoughts on the Hitler Gang if you've seen it. If you haven't, try and track this one down if you can. It really is an oddity to be seen, and I'd love to know your opinion of this if you have seen it. So let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on the Hitler Gang. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. All ways in which you can support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.